Hey gang, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we like to race bikes and we make lots of nice videos about them, so you should definitely subscribe. What you're looking at here is our onboard footage from our most recent Eastern race at somewhere close to Colchester, not entirely sure where. Honor, you're up first.
Yeah, second row grid. I thought I'll go on the edge and hope that I can get round. However, as soon as I started moving, I forgot that plan. Tried to squeeze through this gap, failed miserably, then got a bit stuck, a bit caught up, then was like, let's go back to the original plan, try and go around the outside. By that point, had nothing to give. So this was quite a bad start for me. No, this was a very bad start for me. It was uphill, dry, bumpy. That'll be a recurring theme here. And I didn't have the power for it. You can see my numbers there, not great. And I'm just kind of going backwards. But I know we're about to start going downhill, so I stop pedaling, I think, and then just kind of hope for the best and hope that I can make up a couple of places coming down here, which I believe I do so quite nicely.
Well, what happened to her?
I'm not sure. A lot of chains were getting lost. Another recurring theme here was chains were all over the place.
Whoa, look at that.
Yeah, I got a couple of places there. That's quite nice. Tucked in behind there. There we go, another chain there. And then I didn't like this move too much. I was like, oh, I'll get round, and then I was like, no.
Oh, you got pushed all wide.
Yeah.
You didn't lose your place over it though.
Yeah, but cost me some energy which I was pretty desperate for after, like, honestly, my least favorite start so far this year. I don't know what it was about it. I just absolutely hated it, and I think I even say that out loud at this point.
Yeah, these bits were super draggy. Is one thing I found in my race, is like they just weren't fast. It was so bumpy, and it was almost like freshly mown grass. So right on that far corner, you were going through like 2 centimeters of just clumped together grass. So it was so slow. There was just no way to get a lot of speed up on it if you were strong or not, and not having lots of energy to play with. I can't imagine how horrible it was.
I really struggled with it, and obviously because it was the start and you're kind of battling for places more so than in the rest of the race, it was just so taxing, like physically and mentally. It was a real struggle.
Yeah, you got gapped a little bit, but closed the gap really nicely there on that nice sweeping left hand corner.
Yeah, as usual, that was very much my strategy for this race, but I was very much concerned that this course was not going to suit me, and there were very limited opportunities to do that. So I will say I suffered physically harder in this race than I have this year so far, definitely. And there were little kickers like this one coming up, and there I am getting overtaken just before it. And this, you know, it was all rideable and fine, but it was just a real zapper of energy just when you really needed it, because this slog coming into this part of the course, I cannot emphasize enough how slow it gets towards the end of it, because you're just going uphill on this dry, long grass. It wasn't even short grass, do you know what I mean? Yeah. It was just like, what? Here we go.
Is that another chain?
Another chain down there. I'm not surprised at all. And I do very much appreciate the course design. I think it was a good course in the field that we had, in the conditions that we had, but difficult field, difficult conditions. This was the one bit of mud that we had, and as you can see, rather than being like fun slidey mud, it was just hell to try and ride through after you've been climbing for some time. And then to top it all off, you come around here and a tree had fallen on the course, and normally I'd be quite into that, and I like that they didn't remove it, but after climbing and then trying to ride through what was honestly like the stickiest mud. Oh yeah, okay. This was just a clumsy moment. There were quite a few clumsy remounts I watched in the men's race as well there. It was very like rutty and rooty. What I did do there that was quite smart, it wasn't intentional but it worked out well, was I ended up sideways across the course. So it also was a problem for everyone behind me as well. So I think as long as you kind of continue on the issue to those behind you, you're fine, right?
Yeah. If you're going to get something wrong, just make sure you're in front of the people you're racing, because then it messes them up as well. Oh, wow, look at that. That was nice. Right past.
Yeah, I like that little descent. It just could have done with a lot more of that, I think.
Yeah, let's just have a course where it's just descending.
Perfect. Almost like downhill mountain bike. I should definitely try that. I definitely shouldn't, actually. I'll break my neck. Anyway, I liked these corners a lot. like really a lot. I realised that I could take more speed into them each lap as well. I was like, no, I can go faster. I started like a bit, it's like not heavy braking, but I was definitely braking a little bit, and then I realised like I don't need to, just full speed down there. And then and then we climb again, and this is the start of like the long climb.
Yeah, it was really rough, and it was as we spoken about earlier, it was like bumpy and grassy and slow. It was also quite warm, which was quite annoying.
What was the noise I just made? Yeah, I was really struggling. I think that says it all, really. I do not like climbing. It's no secret. Well, actually, I do like climbing, but not in my current state, which is not very physically strong at all. I would say weak, very weak. I am quite weak. So yeah, right. Like, absolutely hated this. This was very much just like, do what I can, empty myself as much as I can, suffer and try and accept the suffering, but also just like try and save myself for being able to concentrate going down again, because I knew that's where I would be able to get a bit of time back.
You also needed to be on it in the descents, because they were so bumpy that if you were completely redlined going into the descents, like, you'd fall off your bike. Like, yeah, you were getting chucked around.
Absolutely, like just a lump would kick your wheel the wrong way, and then that's where you're going.
This lump was vicious. Like, it kicked up right at the end.
So this is Gemma, who is indeed a strong girl, as we can see.
You'll get to recognise Gemma quite a lot.
So Gemma is one of the drop chains from earlier in the lap. So it was absolutely no surprise to me when she came whipping past me. What was a surprise to me was kind of staying on her wheel here, and spoiler alert, I'll get in front of her in a minute.
Is it because she dropped a chain again?
Not yet. That might happen though. Another spoiler alert. So again, coming down here, clearly this is my time to shine. I almost was like, oh, I should stay behind her, because I know that's where she belongs. But then I came down with quite a bit of speed that I was comfortable with, so I was like, use it. I'm sure I'll see you again in a sec, but let's keep the momentum going while we can. And there's those ridges and bumps. Absolutely seamless transition there on the commentary. Sorry, we're doing our best. We're new to this.
We shout ridges and bumps at you again. We're sorry.
I tried to make it sound natural. I tripped over my words, so we redid it halfway through it, and it wasn't seamless like we had in mind. Anyway, okay, moving on.
I wonder if we'll see Gemma again anytime soon.
I think here she comes.
I trust I won't see him again.
I mean, you will.
So I understood. That was fighting talk. I liked it.
That was a nice little interaction.
Yeah, bit of a slip of a tongue there. You'll never see me. Oh wait, no, wait, you will.
I'm trying to be modest, but accidentally being really cocky. No, I liked it. Please do that. Let's chat more like that. So anyway, this is Gemma riding away from me, and hopefully, for her sake, never seeing me again.
There she is.
I just want to say, and this does keep happening, she handled it like an absolute champ. I would have absolutely lost my head with that happening quite so many times, and she just seemed so jolly throughout, and yeah, wow, kudos to her. So here is one of the other drop chains from the first lap coming through, and again, I just kind of let her because that's where she should be. She's obviously stronger than me, so try and stick with her, but does not last very long, and so off she goes. And thankfully I do not see her again, thankfully for her sake.
Yeah, it's a bit rough. Yeah, as you said, like, I definitely... Oh, there we go.
Bye.
Yeah, I how many times do you have to drop a chain before you...
There you go.
God. How many times have you got to drop a chain before you just stop riding? Like,
but she didn't, but she kept going. It was
I
so
would have pulled
good.
out at this point if I was her.
So to my surprise here, I actually overtake... This is a rider in front of me, and I overtake them. Wow, on the hill.
You caught someone on the hill?
I was like, what's happened? There must be a reason for this. And then I realised that, like, after looking at the lap times after the race, I was like, oh no, I actually just came past someone on a hill. And I get overtaken on a hill, of course. This is the girl who I now end up battling for pretty much... Well, for the rest of the race, very much, up until the finish. Ooh, stay tuned to see who wins. So she gets a gap on me, naturally. But I think I do close this. Maybe not straight away, but with a bit of time. Ooh, going a little bit sideways there, I like that. Yeah, so what happens on this lap here happens for the next 3 laps. I've not included it all in because that would be quite boring, because it is literally like the exact same. And here she accelerates away from me, exact same for 3 laps. So in my head, I'm like, this girl is absolutely stronger than me. That's fine. I will stick with her as much as I can, try and close the gaps on the more techie sections where I can. But it's a hilltop finish.
Hilltop, is it?
It's like a
It's
mountain.
mountaintop finish.
Felt like it by the end of it. So I'm thinking probably very little chance of me having this, but I'll try my best.
That mountain bike woman is very, very strong.
Very, very fast. Yeah, she beat me on the last one as well. And you see by the end of...
That is a big gap.
As you said, that was a real slog. By the end of like going over the log and up the mud and everything, yeah, those girls that are stronger than me, see ya. And it just came down to this descent and trying to get back as much as I could, which I think I did okay.
Easy, nice corner.
Nice, not bad. And so I've got a bit...
Definitely closed it up quite considerably. Whoa.
Maybe
quite
quite
a lot.
I don't know
it
where I
would
did
appear.
that actually.
That was up the hill.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Every lap she gapped me on the hill, apart from this one where I got up with her.
But yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Maybe she'd gone really, really hard up through the log and everything. She just didn't have everything to give. Did she get a little bit sideways there when you closed up? Yeah, look at that, really nice.
Yeah, so again, maybe I did keep in the footage of the repeats of many
You're
laps.
going to watch this another 4 times.
No, you're not.
Hey, Phoebe.
Oh, my favourite part of the race.
You've got a few people behind you. Don't apologise. You're doing great, mate. You just keep those people away from me behind you. And be fucking proud of yourself and enjoy it. I love you.
That was cute.
Sorry for the swears, but I was passionate.
Yeah, so the gap isn't as big this lap as it was the previous lap. She probably gave...
Oh, yeah.
Hey! So she probably gave quite a lot to try and drop you on that previous lap, but you managed to pull
Claw
her
it back somehow. I there it was a bit cheeky of me to overtake because I didn't actually like continue going faster than her. I basically got in her way, but the thing was,
You wanted to prove you're good in the corners.
no, I wanted to make sure I could take the line I wanted to take through that corner. I did not want to risk losing speed through that corner, and so I thought, I just want control over the line. I'm going to go in front and I'm going to take it.
And then she comes past you and gaps you on the descent. And we're back. Clearly that gap existed for the entirety of the last
Is
lap.
this not this?
No, this is the next lap on, and it's basically showing that you've caught up and closed that gap again.
God,
We'll
deja
see-
vu.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
know. Clearly nothing exciting happened in that previous lap.
As I said, a
There
lot
we go.
of the same.
It was literally just this for 4 laps.
So this is the final clamp.
I'm sorry, we might have to leave that in. Alright, talk us through the final clam.
I did not want to go into the final clam in this position. In my head, I was like, I would probably be better off like attacking into the descent or basically anywhere other than the climb, because I knew that she was stronger than me, so obviously it does not make sense to leave it to the one part of the course where she's definitely stronger than me. But here we are. To be honest, I was just so pooped, and like we were saying earlier, like to do the technical bits well, you couldn't be in the red. So here we were, and I just had to make the most of it. What I did realise though was that we had Gemma,
Remember her from earlier?
coming up behind us. And as you'll see, she makes quite a difference to how this last lap pans out.
She came past at a rate of knots.
At an absolute rate of knots.
Here we
and
go.
somehow, I honestly do not know where I pulled that acceleration from. That was not me. There was something else there. Someone took over my body and gave me some watts. Naturally, I did absolutely blow up immediately. As you'll see now, she starts to ride
That gap
away.
goes very quick.
The elastic snaps so hard. Here we go. And at this point, I'm like, she's gaining on me again. The girl behind is absolutely, any minute now, she'll have just carried on at her own pace and overtaken me. And someone there shouts, like, get her, which in hindsight, turns out was to me about the girl in front. No chance I'm getting her. But in my head, in that moment, I thought it was to the girl behind me about me. And so I, was absolutely convinced she was there. Turned out, anyway, I bloody got a big gap on her in the end.
Yeah, I think she'd put quite a lot into trying to get away from you, and that meant that you, on that final climb, when you went with Gemma, she just had nothing left. You know, she'd been into the red too much, so she couldn't follow you, which is nice.
Yeah, I do think, though, if she'd kind of carried on riding at the pace she was, she almost definitely would have caught me. But I think maybe my acceleration put her off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
definitely.
absolutely blew up. If she'd realised that, she would have had me easy.
Yeah.
Anyway, looks like your race is on now.
Yeah, and this is getting quite long now, so we'll probably cover that in a part 2. So you better subscribe, and we'll see you shortly.
Bye.